Hello, 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 hello! Today we're going to get started with the new series, Ōkami. This is a bit distracting, so I'm gonna stop the video. But, I don't know if everyone knows of this series or if they don't, but this is one of my favorite series of all time. So we're going to do it again on this series from the start, of course. But, you know, Mr. Krabs, I had an idea. So I took one of my DIY models, which I will have the link below, and middle themed. It's me, but an ink wash. It's me with an ink wash, which is super cool. So I actually blend in. With the series we're playing. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. We'll just brush right past that. It didn't happen, don't worry about it.
Ōkami.
Welcome to one of my favorite series. Yippee, yip, 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 yip. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, Hideki Kamiya. Da, 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 da. Long, long ago, tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. With a body like a mountain and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks, its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. People assumed the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. The warrior Nagi attempted many times to challenge the wolf, but his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had finally arrived. A white-plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. Piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by this sign. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the beast's cave in place of his beloved. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, serves as Orochi's home. As Nagi stood bravely before the entrance, a beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leapt with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. On and on he sliced, well into the moonless night. But Orochi's hide was like steel. The blade left nary a scratch. At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Bearing its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt towards Orochi. Orochi reared its terrifying heads, rearing its fangs for battle. Two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening, a gigantic tree suddenly sprouted, shielding the wolf. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed in crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow, but Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly, the black clouds overhead dissipated. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary, channeling all his strength into his scarred and battered arms. I mean, they're probably scared too. He leapt ferociously toward Orochi, his sword poised high. The golden sword danced in his hands like a puppet on a string. One by one, Orochi's fearsome heads separated from their owner. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. In that instant, the curse that plagued the villagers was lifted. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, and closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki village. In honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits, the villagers erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukuyomi and placed inside the moon cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. 100 years had passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. Is this the legendary sword? Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend. Nothing but a fairy tale. Hmm? I don't know about that. Oh, he who seeks power, he who has broken my bonds. Speak the words, I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. Me too. Now loading. A horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. Wood Sprite Sakuya. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There is no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years I've spent protecting this area. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We have never needed your power more. Shine your divine light upon this broken and polluted world. Let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. Ōkami Amaterasu. Ah, such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. How delightful to see that the savior whose brave sacrifice sealed away the evil demons so many years ago has not changed one bit. Seeing you emerge after so many years spent as a statue brings happiness to my heart. If... me. Amaterasu, gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon. But never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. What is this? Has something stolen its way into my rope? Oh, what on earth? You again. I love the again. Ow, 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 ow. Are you nuts? Boy, for a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting. That's all. Were you napping in my clothes again, Bug? Bug? I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I'm sorry, buddy, but if you're going in our clothes and being a little guy, you're a Bug. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Ison. I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long till you are bowing before my great brush. Well, what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing, no? What's with you, Furball? You look kinda down in the dumps. Actually, you look kinda familiar. Got it. You look just like that statue of Shiranui. Whoa, what do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messing with the great Aizen. Don't make me use my prize sword, Dinkomaru, against you. What's the growling sound? And why is it so dark anyway? Oh, great god, Amaterasu. I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki Village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free, and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world. The trees returned to normal, huh? That Sakuya girl sure said some weird stuff. A villager's spirits are being kept inside the fruit. Well, that's the fruit, and that girl said that if you cut it down, the village will be restored. But it's awfully high up there. If you don't use some kind of special power, there's no real way you're gonna reach it. This darkness is really getting to me too. A lot can happen while you're taking a nap. Real. Real. The most real thing Aizen says in this entire game. Alright. Let's go. Where are we? Got awfully quiet all of a sudden. I don't remember any place like this in the village. Well, we better keep our eyes peeled. You can use the mouse to look around. See, changes your point of view. Boy, you really look so helpless. You sure you're gonna be okay? I actually have not played on keyboard yet. This is gonna be new for both of us. Hold on. Sorry, head itched. That's an origin mirror. They say once your reflection appears on its surface, your memories will be stored in the mirror for all eternity. Well, to put it shortly, you can save your progress here. And let me give you a little advice. You should save a number of game files. That way, you can always go back if you get stuck or something. I'll be prepared, specifically while you're still learning the ropes. Meanwhile, me, watch it be like 9 files, and they're all just me beating the game. Alka Shrine, yep, I beat the game on that one. There's a New Game Plus, there's another game beat. I think this one was my speed run. What was my speedrun? I think that one was the speedrun. This one was the chill. No, this one was the speed run. Yeah, this is the speed run. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to speed run this game, and I didn't get very far. But I was like, okay, maybe I could do this. I think this was the first try, and this was the second try. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway. File 6. Alright. I don't mind that. That works. Yeah. Look at all those pots just waiting to be broken. If you bust them, there might be something good inside. Press click to bust them open. Way to go, my furry friend. You can do that anytime you see something you can break. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yes, sir. Now, I'm gonna do a little something because I do this every time. You can just completely cheat over an area. There we go. Holy smokes! That was one sweet wall jump by you there. First you press space to jump. Yeah, he just gives you another tutorial on how to do it. Keep your eyes peeled, we don't want to miss any treasure. Yeah, I always do that. I don't know why I do, I just always do. Something about being satisfying, I think. Destroy the horse. Bonk. Looks like the bridge is out. This shouldn't be so hard. Amaterasu, was it? That's kind of long. Mind if I just call you Amy? Listen, Amy, ever heard of the spirits of the brush? Good brushwork has its own soul. At least that's what they say. Just watch. It'd take all day to explain it. Pictures with 1,000 words, right? Yes, sir. Nice, huh? Just a little technique I've mastered called rejuvenation. It's one of many brush techniques that use divine power. It's a brush god power that can restore broken or missing things. I've practiced really hard just to master this one technique. But there are 13, and each one has the power of one of the 13 brush gods. Originally, all 13 were a single powerful deity. When the deity died, its power was split into 13 separate gods. The gods now dwell within objects all around us, but, well, god or no god, how could anyone have the power to master all 13? You just wait. I'll find a way. River of the Heavens. River of the Heavens? You mean the fabled Stardust River? But I sure don't see anything like that around here. It couldn't be that little puddle over there, could it? It could. It could, it could, it could. Wow. Look at the stars twinkle. I haven't seen such a beautiful nighttime sky in ages. Hey, look. Are those stars forming in pattern, or is it just me? Huh, there's one missing. Guess I'll just have to draw the missing star. Heh. Looks like I'm just not ready to draw missing stars. Press control to hold the brush. Then click to draw. I sure spent a heck of a lot of time practicing that. Oh god, I can't see it. Right there? Yeah. Close enough. It's a little far off, but it's close enough. Ah, why if it isn't Mother Amaterasu? I apologize for not contacting you sooner during these long years. Having never forgotten you, I, Yomigami, God of Restoration, have eagerly awaited this day when we could again meet. While you were away, the 13 spirits of the brush that you once possessed, including myself, have been scattered across this land of men, and now lie in disarray. I became a constellation and managed to survive until now. The time has come for you to seek out and reunite all the techniques. Your power is what is needed to restore the dried riverbed of the heavens and renew the flow of stardust. Wowie? Wow, that was Yomigami, the god of rejuvenation. Wait, so you have the power of rejuvenation now? Can you really use it to restore the river of the heavens? That would mean you were so good with a brush as yours truly. Nah, couldn't be true. Who else could master this incredible god technique? Other than God herself? River of the heavens. Wonder if drawing some stardust would get the river flowing again. Nah, it's one thing to fix a bridge, but fixing a starry river? There's no way you could pull that off. What? Aizen, I don't know, buddy. I'm sorry, but... what about one of these? I mean, I'm just gonna do one of these. Mop. Whoa! A river of stardust! So this really must be the river of the heavens. What I really want to know is who the heck drew the darn thing? Me. It was me. Me. Yeah, alright. Boop. You obtained Astral Pouch. Look what you found, Furball. This astral pouch here is amazing. It can swallow up lots of food, then when it's full, it can revive its owner if he or she dies. Let's start feeding it with whatever food we can find around here. Basically, we found a second stomach. We found a second stomach. You gotta feed your extra tummy. Feed it an apple. Feed it a peach. I won't read, like, all of the food tooltips, because y'all know what the foods are. That one was an orange. Okay. I think the only foods that I will read are, like, the very, very important foods that actually do have a lore reasoning to exist. Other than that, we're not reading them. No, this game. I think I can get this first? Yeah. Free bead. Find all the scattered beads and get a special reward. Okay. I know where every single stray bead is. Don't judge me. So... don't be surprised when I run after them like my life depends on it, okay? Now, unfortunately for episode 1, I will have to have a cliffhanger. We're going to end right after we get this. I apologize. Episode 2, I swear we'll finish the rest of this very beginning. Is this the legendary shrine? We must be in the cave of Nagi. The legendary hero Nagi is enshrined here. He vanquished evil 100 years ago with the help of the White Wolf Shiranai. I used to say Shiranai, but I know it's not Shiranai, it's Shiranui. I'm pretty sure. But I might flip-flop between the both, and I am sorry. First the river of the heavens, and now this place. Where the heck are we, Furball? Boy, this place is a wreck. See? The sword's in really bad shape. The gods sure didn't do much to protect this place. To be fair, he kind of got, like, literally all the credit. That really was your brushwork all this time. How do you get so good? Exactly who are you anyway? Hey, there's another constellation. This one looks like a... like a mouse! Like a mouse! Well, 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 if it isn't Mother Amaterasu. It's been a long time, but with all these monsters around, The only place I could hide was in this shrine dedicated to ancient heroes. If there is anything I can do to assist you in your endeavors, I am at your service. Make good use of this sword, as it was designed to conquer evil. He's so cute. I love him. Hey, that was the god Tachigami, master of the power slash technique. Wait a minute, if you're getting all these powers, then you're just like that Shiranui. You know, the wolf who fought and died alongside the great doggy? When Shiranui died, the wolf's power was split into 13 brush gods. This is crazy. Shiranui and Nagi? It's like the legend. Well, anyway, I've never seen this power slash technique for myself. How about showing your stuff off on that boat over there? Let me see you slice it in half by drawing a single line. I won't believe it till I see it. Yeah, okay. Whoa! I didn't think you had an India, Furball. I'm not even in the same league as you. Guess I really overestimated myself. Hey, Furball. I mean, Amaterasu. I've made up my mind. If you're Shiranui reborn, then that means you can master all 13 techniques, right? In that case, I think I'll tag along until I'm as good as you. Lucky you. It's no use trying to change my mind. There's no stopping me once I've made a decision, but enough about me. Now that you've mastered the power slash, you can cut down that thing Sakuya was talking about. Let's go back and give it a shot. Okay, so the reason I'm gonna end off here, and not, you know, after I cut down the fruit, is because there's a few combat sessions before we leave. And, well, we're gonna end off here. Actually, now I think about it, I can't just save. I have to go to the mirror. No. Alright, well, we have to go all the way back to the mirror together. I want to see if I can skip the combat by just walking around it. Because I think I can. Yeah, because that's like a speedrun strat, is you can just skip the combat. Alright, let's see. Now, the only unfortunate thing with this game, like, I call it unfortunate, but it's fortunate for me, is there's gonna be a lot less editing. Because there's not much that I want to cut out. The only things that I'm going to cut out is, like, a stray bead farming and, like, walking across areas to do puzzles, because there's a lot of back and forth until I get a very special item, which I will not spoil. Until then, yeah, it will be a lot of back and forth, and I may speed or cut that up. Yeah, for now, most of this is just straight up story, and I won't be cutting story out or speeding up story. I hope y'all are chill with that. But for now, let's go ahead and save. We will be back next time, as this is 32 minutes. I don't know how much it's going to be after editing, because I think I'm going to edit some things out, but I probably won't. Yeah, that's 30 minutes already, believe it or not. Now, I will see y'all next time, if I can actually hit the return to turtle button. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for coming by and enjoying Ōkami with me. I hope you enjoy so far, and I will see you next time. I will be uploading these on Friday at the same time as Bear Breakfast, so 3 p.m. on Friday instead of 3 p.m. on Wednesday. I will see you next Friday, and until then, have an awesome rest of your week. Bye bye!